Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. In today's matchup, we should have a fun one on our hands. It's the Colts coming in at 9-6, going up against the Lions, who come in at 5-10. So for the call of this week's 17 matchup, let's send it out to our broadcast team, Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. First carry for Isaiah Crowell. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. So the Lions go backwards there, and unfortunately that's something they saw a lot in 2015. They had the fewest rushing yards of any team in the NFL.
And it's one of those dubious titles that no one really wants to claim. Even teams who say, well, don't worry about running it because we throw it all the time. Being able to run it when you want to is a key to success in the NFL, and Detroit struggled doing that.
No gain that time, and it leaves them with 3rd and 11 coming up. Well, they're trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11. From the gun, here's Stafford. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down. Coming in carrying the losing streak, not the start that they were looking for. 3 and out on the opening drive.
So now everyone's looking at each other. And what I mean by that is, who's going to make the right play? Who's going to get us out of the doldrums? Who's going to get us out of this funk that they're in right now? They've got to find someone who will make a play, create a play, and get their confidence moving in the right direction.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The tight end changing his position. And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 10 carries, 70 yards.
And they've got a nice scheme going right now, and they run the football pretty well. In fact, I was talking with him on the field before the game, and he said he's starting to hear from the guys ahead of him on the rushing yardage total, and they want to know if he's going to jump up there and join them at the top of the list.
Now they try the right side here. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Okay, let's just make this one simple. We know that the running game is not their thing, but they can't just throw it on every single down without expecting some real heat from the pass rush.
From the gun on 3rd down, Luck gets it off to Freeman. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the 1st. Just the first quarter of tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I had missed him, it would have been a different story. Long night.
So 2nd and 9, the defense looking to put them in a bad spot here. They'll need to get the play off quickly. On second down, here's Luck. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that, give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
He's got Freeman here. It's complete. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
As far as I'm concerned, Andrew Luck can do it all. I mean, he's an underrated runner, toughness in the pocket, strong and stout. But let's face it, the money, that comes from his arm.
And smart, valedictorian of his high school class in Houston. Then he goes to Stanford. He's got it all. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. Now a handoff looking right. He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
In search of 8 yards on 3rd down. They've already converted 2 of these on this drive, 2 for 2. Now Luck, and he fires one, but incomplete.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
So the folks here in the stands this afternoon, they're happy about that one. Their guys get the early advantage after the opening drive field goal.
And they should be happy. Their guys look good getting down the field, and that's got to give them hope that good things are in store here today.
This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
Second down, here's Stafford. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
So incomplete on second down. Now they'll look to convert here on 3rd. A shotgun snap for Stafford. He's going to look deep down the field. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Malik Hooker. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
After the interception, it's Luck. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Luck. Flush to his right. Going for it all. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's third. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with third down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
Throwing on third down. Luck. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Freeman. And he's brought down, but following a pretty juke move that gives him the first down. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, not it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag. Completed it very well.
And a nice pick up there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yeah, it's now second and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
Here's Luck now on second down. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. That brings up third down. Now keep in mind, they did have 3 interceptions last week. Couldn't quite come up with a first quarter pick that time.
But they had to like what they saw in terms of reacting when the ball is thrown. We had an expression when I played. It's called break on it. Every time the quarterback puts the ball in the air, break on the football. Go make a play and accumulate those interceptions.
Former defensive back. You remember those 3 interception games. It can be contagious, give you a little momentum.
They really can, and it doesn't matter whether it's one person or if you spread them across your entire defense. Everybody wants a piece of that pie.
So that scores now in their first 2 possessions, but it's 6-0. Probably not the kind of scores they were hoping for.
No, not at all, but I think that they've shown that they can have some success against this defense. So they'll go back to the sideline knowing the points are going to be there for the taking.
And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Here comes Matthew Stafford now to lead his offense back out there. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad.
And the ball is knocked out, and the Colts pick it up. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And the magnitude of this game, everybody knows it. The fans, obviously the players and coaches, there's just with them a palpable buzz right now. They know they control their own destiny.
Win and you're in. And I think every player wants that. I think every coach wants that. I haven't been in an organization yet that wants to be in a game where they have to rely on other teams to get them to their goals. In this situation, it's very cut and dry. Win and you're in the playoffs. That's their mission. That's their challenge. And you know they've chosen to accept it.
And what they told us is this has been the most focused week of practice we've had all year. You wouldn't expect any different.
Yeah, and you know, at the beginning of the season, you have multiple goals. They just have one now. Win the game.
And now here's a carry heading left. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Colts in possession of the football to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down. They go play action here on first down. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. The Colts on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Now it's Luck. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
Not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though this offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points.
And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And Detroit getting set to go now. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive a little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punching the end zone without turning it over.
Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. And complete to the tight end Walker, right side. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game. Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Stafford now to throw. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Now whistles and a flag down. Looked like one of the Lions linemen might have moved. The guilty party Chance Warmack, the guard out of Alabama. Out of the gun, Stafford. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Walker. A big hit. Knocked down sideways near the 25.
Brandon, they didn't get everything they wanted out of that play, but the tight end did. And I don't mean it in a positive way. Great job of him holding on after absorbing that big hit.
To throw on 2nd down is Stafford. Out to the flat for Hyde. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure, and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice gain.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Vontaze Burfict in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
That throw has to be a quarterback's dream, doesn't it? Big tight end, curling in the middle of the field, so it's great sight lines for him. And when they show their numbers back to the quarterback, when they sit down right there, that should be pitch and catch.
Back to throw, Stafford. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. They've been moving the ball well offensively, really getting into a groove. Last play, pass completion. Now, finally, the defense gets there.
And you have to find a way to disrupt their rhythm. Do you do it with coverage, or do you do it with pressure? They elected to go with pressure, and it was the right call.
Well, their offense has struggled for sure, but they get the field goal here and at least get on the board before half.
And that's not something we should underestimate, because just getting points on the board can sometimes have a settling effect on a team, helps them start their comeback.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Colts now, their offense works their way back onto the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
A big play there for Indy. 53 yards. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Indianapolis right after this. In just 2 minutes' time, don't forget we'll get you to Orlando for our halftime report. To bring it to you, who else but Larry Ridley?
Now that man knows his football. Go get him, Larry.
Eluding the pressure right. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And he will bring this all the way up to the 30-yard line.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage. But instead, he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
After the interception, here's Stafford. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. That throw good for 4. It's second down. To throw on second down. Stafford. And Jones has it over the middle. Stafford to Jones, enough for a Lion first down. First down now, but the clock continues to move. On 1st and 10, Stafford. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Back to the air. Stafford on second down. A screen complete to Crowell. And give him 9 yards on the second down screen play.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
The Lions on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. To the air again. Stafford. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. And now here's a timeout called by the Colts on the defensive side of the ball. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
They expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
To throw is Locke. He finds a man with a crossing route. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. Good yardage there for the Colts. 18 and a first down. On first down, it's Locke. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And a big collision there as he winds up flat on his back. Give him 30 yards there. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary. Figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get
touchdown Indianapolis. A big play there as the first half is winding down and the Colts are able to grow their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. They begin with a run by Corral. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down. And you know what offenses want? Win first down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on first down. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we'll send you down to Orlando where Larry Ridley has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry?
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to our EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. The Colts are happy to be in front right now and just want to play 2 more solid quarters. The Lions won't panic either. They know they just need to take it 1 play at a time. So here we go. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Colts with the ball midway through 1. Defense will get to the quarterback here. This ends up as a loss of 9. Now following the fumble. Defense will get to the QB here. This will go for a loss of 8.
So no update from Larry. After 17 weeks, folks are saying, let's get on with the show. So we'll oblige as we get you set for the second half kickoff. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because What you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Back to throw. Love. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A really nice gain of 25 yards. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Going to give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
And they're able to get this one down to the 25. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 6 on the play, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And to give this time to the tailback. And he is going to be knocked flat on his back. Oh, a big hit. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. They'll try the air now with Locke. And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown.
Drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Lions offense heading out as we give you a look at the playoff race coming into the weekend in the NFC. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Stafford throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Stafford on first down. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was saying about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
On second down, here's Crowell. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
And that was a good run, and it should get the attention of the defense, but they can't just dwell on it. They've been playing so well this entire game. Maybe they just look at it and say, okay, congratulations, you got one on us, and just not let it turn into more.
They'll try to run for it with Corral. And they'll stop him right on the midfield stripe. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave them with some options here on 4th and inches.
I bet they thought they had picked that one up because it was a 3rd and 2 call. And they got awfully close. Now we're at 4th and inches. I wonder if they think they're feeling lucky here and maybe want to go pick it up.
He gets us away. It's a good one. Drawing toward the sidelines. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. And the Colts coming out now. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
To throw on second down is Luck. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down.
I think it's pretty safe to say that when you're up 3 touchdowns, the last thing you want to do is hang one up there and put it in jeopardy and possibly get it intercepted. Got a nice lead. You should be able to protect it. But if you get careless with the football, look out.
From the gun on 3rd down, Luck. And an alley to run. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. Luck showing he can be dangerous when he tucks and runs. He's able to pick up the 1st down.
How about that scramble by Andrew Luck? Sometimes we forget just how big, strong, and, yes, fast Andrew Luck is. When he came out of college at the Combine, shocked everyone, ran a sub-4 840.
And he grew up a big soccer guy over in Europe, so he knows how to use his feet.
That he does, and I think it has helped his legs along the way as well.
And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
He's going to float this one deep right side. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A big play there. With his 13th touchdown of the year and 2nd of the game. And the Colts add on to their lead. And he'll bang that one through. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And Detroit getting set to go now. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant.
Looking for Tate, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Vontae Davis. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the fourth quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And Detroit getting set to go now. And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best.
And he'll be brought down by the Colts.
And that's the second sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
Here's a give to Crowell. Big hold of the 30. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. That'll be a gain of 16. And that'll lead here to a third down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry.
Back now here on EA Sports. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Stafford on third down. And Tate's got it. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. A gain of 6 there on first. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
On second down, here's Stafford. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Here's Stafford, and he comes back with one complete. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Third and 2, Stafford. And this is going to be incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
Those really long field goals, when they are made, they are things of beauty. But there is a danger to getting them started, isn't there?
Yeah, with that low drive, you've got to really keep it low to the ground, don't you, to get that distance.
Yeah, hard to just pop it up in the air because otherwise it's not going to get there. So he's got to drive it low in order to have the distance, and that usually puts it in jeopardy, gives him a chance to block it, and everyone knows it on the other side. That's when you get your best jumpers on the other side of the field and try and get up and get it.
That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
He's going to sling this deep downfield. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And they'll go on the ground. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a third down.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable third down, because they had the incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Play clock winding down. Out of the gun, Luck. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Paul Warlow in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Man, blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. So it's 3 more points, and that widens things out even further here in the fourth.
Hey, in this league, you can never have too much. So if you're in range, grab the 3 whenever you can.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. First down at Stafford. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
To throw on second down. Stafford. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
3rd and long. It's Stafford. And he locates Walker, complete. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. It's a first down. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. Looking to throw on second down. Stafford. Wide open receiver, complete. Touchdown, Detroit. A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And it's for pride now, but the Lions do get a bit closer.
And that touchdown, well, it barely puts a dent in this lead. And unfortunately, I'm having too many flashbacks right now. I remember getting beat down like this playing before.
Oh, yeah? College, high school?
College. Not a heck of a lot of fun. I still remember playing and trying to tackle an elusive tailback who ended up scoring 4 touchdowns, 226 yards. He scored so many times and had so many great runs, I knew every note to their school's fight song.
Bet that ice bath felt extra cold afterwards, too.
Oh, no, there was no ice bath. You're just trying to get out of there before the reporters got to you.
Well, look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And after a sluggish start, he's really bounced back. The numbers bear that out.
And you're a baseball guy, partner. How many at-bats over the course of a baseball season?
Oh, boy, 4 in a game.
Yeah, about 4 in a game.
4 times 162.
350 or so, right? Sometimes it takes a while for a guy to get going. That's my point. It's not the first few carries. You don't worry about that. As they go along, get that guy lathered up, get those blocking assignments down. Those 2-yard gains turn into bigger gains as the game moves along.
They go play action here on first down. He's going to launch this thing. Wait, and that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown of the game, number 14 on the year. And the Colts have got it on cruise control.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone. This guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes. Carving him up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Walker. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now a first down throw. Stafford throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. One of his main targets, Delaney Walker, the intended receiver. And now it's second down. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
Now Stafford. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it. That's a whole lot of points still to be down. But congratulations, they're still fighting, and they scored another touchdown.
It's like my old high school coach used to say, Charles. He said, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and sometimes you wish you never had showed up.
Could have saved the gas money, the hotel, what have you, huh?
This fielded at the 2. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When you go to the backup, let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. There were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Now we've got whistles and a flag. Looked like one of the Colts linemen might have jumped.
False start, offense.
Well, this O-line's been great. They've got the big lead, so give them a pass there, I guess.
Yeah, I would think so, because if we were grading them on their performance in this game, a lot of pluses in their boxes so far.
Now they try the right side here. And shedding the tackle, and now some room. And he takes this one all the way across midfield into enemy territory down to the 40-yard line. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be stopped up quickly here at the 38. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here, because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. And back at the beginning of the year, they said they thought they could win 10 games. That's such a good number to shoot for. They achieved that here.
And why is that such a good number to shoot for? 10 usually gets you into the playoffs. An excellent goal, and they accomplished it.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. The Colts are winners as we say so long from Indianapolis.